I've told you 1,000 times, Chester. It's the number of mating rituals I've attended when no one has turned up, followed by the number of blessings the entity has bestowed under my left arm. The date my predestined match was sacrificed by my best friend, the age my pet Gwoglaw was when I was forced to eat him, the number of times I've communed with the darkness, and the exact position of the celestial bodies when I first felt its dark touch. I honestly don't see why that's so hard for you to remember.
If you could just sit here, please. High Priest Magnus, the host will be with you shortly.
Not you.
But, Dr. Magnus, I don't like the way it's been looking at me lately. Isn't it possible for me to sit here?
No, definitely not. Honestly, you think too highly of yourself, Chester. You're not chosen. You'll be fine. Now, go and wait over there.
Yes, Dr. Magnus.
Be respectful in its presence, please, Colin.
Interesting. Wouldn't want to live here, though.
Live where?
You know, here, with that. Definitely different, though.
What's different?
My clothing choices, if you ask my mother.
She's half blind, though, isn't she?
Doesn't seem to stop her. Jeremy, this is Dr. Magnus. His assistant's floating around here somewhere, too.
Doctor, pleased to meet you. I'm afraid you may find me a little sceptical, though.
Science thrives on being challenged, Mr. Donaldson.
Sorry I'm late. Ancient curse. High Priest Magnus.
Doctor, I believe.
Either is appropriate.
10 seconds, everybody.
Seems like a conflict of interest to me.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. This one is Jeremy Donaldson.
And this one is Megan Wolfe. It's the third blood moon in the year of the severed heart, and this is an Ancient One special event hosted by your arcane and occult news team.
In an ancient tower, concealed within the hallowed forest of Tittlewood, High Priest Dr. Charles Magnus and his appropriately named unworthy congregation have been working on a grand act of devotion.
They claim their Euphoria device will raise overall happiness levels throughout the country, which, as we all know, provides a dramatic and positive increase in taste for it that devours.
We'll be in and out of the schedule throughout the evening, with our eager team of supplicants standing by up and down its blessed stalking grounds. They'll report live, at first, on whether the device has brought a smile to their faces, and then later we'll find out if it's brought flavour to their veins.
We'll have sacrificial offerings from the worlds of science, religion and entertainment, and of course those all-important flavour results.
So don't move that dial, and as always,
appease the great ancient. Welcome back. In just a few swishes of its mighty barbed tentacles, this resplendent machine behind me...
Actually, Miss Wolfe, I think it might be best if we conducted the experiment sooner rather than later, all things considered.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, I was still on script. Maybe just a couple of quick introductory chats, though, to set the scene. You are Doctor and High Priest Charles Magnus.
Yes, I suppose so.
Please explain to our undeserving audience, how will this device please its great and terrible malevolence?
Well, as we all know, we are but food for the great ancient. It that devours, the undying one, master of horrors, darkness incarnate. However, a few years ago, through a series of carefully conducted rituals, we gleaned that it has always found displeasure in our taste. It's a bit off, apparently.
Off? What do you mean?
Well, according to our expert divinations, the beast is not content with our flavor. It's because of the soul-crushing fear we experience as it approaches at impossible angles from a darkening sky. It makes us taste a bit tart.
Even the sacrifices?
Yes. Our research suggests they can be quite scary too, for those on the receiving end.
I have noticed they often make a lot of a fuss.
I just assumed it was the ecstasy of being among the chosen.
It's a very difficult situation for the Undying One. After all, as we all know from the texts, its mere presence shall cause the blood to chill, and its touch brings forth the cold revulsion of disease and decay.
can see how it might be hard to maintain a smile under those circumstances.
And it does like to play with its food, rather. An arm here, a leg there. As divine privileges go, it can be a bit traumatic.
I see. So it wants us to go to our deaths happy and with a smile, does it? Ignore that pesky survival instinct of ours.
Oh, those pesky human things.
Well, that seems entirely reasonable to me. How do we accomplish it?
Well, once I activate the Euphoria device, we will all be able to remain joyful and at peace, even as we watch our families devoured before meeting our own inevitable fate. We can meet our horrifically visceral ends without complaint or fear. In short, we will finally taste lovely, thus ensuring the unspeakable horror will have a bountiful food supply for millennia to come, which I think we can all agree is the ultimate goal.
Can't get no argument from me.
Well then, without any further ado at all whatsoever, let's do this thing.
Good idea.
High Priest Magnus, bestow upon us your mighty gift of blissful ignorance.